School, home of the Grizzly Cubs. And on behalf of Superintendent Dr. David Clendenning and Principal Mr. Steve Ahaus, I'd like to welcome our guest tonight from Perry Meridian High School. That's Principal Kurt Bodecker, Athletic Director Doug Shornick, and the head coach in his first year on the west side is Mr. Brett Cooper. We ask that all spectators adhere to social distancing guidelines and everyone wear a mask covering at all times. Please help us maintain a safe environment so that we can continue our football season. Knock on wood, we can keep going. Concession stand is located at the south end of the home bleachers, and the restrooms are located at the back side of the concession building. Tonight's contest is a Mid-State Conference contest, both teams with their first Mid-State Conference action. All Mid-State Conference teams are in action tonight. We'll refer to that a little bit later on. Tonight will also be band senior night, and we have those folks lined up at the north end, and we'll be ready to go with that in just a moment. Okay, we're ready? Okay. And let's go right into our introduction of our seniors. And we call your attention to the north end of the track. The folks will be moving down the lane of the track. We appreciate Mr. Ahaus, Ms. Martin, Mr. Martin there with some help. And right into our seniors. Our first senior tonight is Dominic Armstrong, escorted by his parents Matthew and Shannon Armstrong. Dominic is a 4-year member of the marching band, concert bands, jazz bands, playing saxophone. He's also a 2-year member of indoor percussion, has been a section leader during marching band. Dominic's postgraduate plans are to become a full-time firefighter and EMT. Senior Dominic Armstrong. Our next senior is Brian Barger, who's escorted tonight by his parents, Christy and Sean Mangin and Tim Barger. Brian plays center snare in the drum line. He is a 4th-year member of the marching band and looks forward to his 5th season in indoor percussion. He is an ISMA solo and ensemble participant and was a member of the DCI Impact Band. His plans are to join the U.S. Army for tank operations and mechanic. Senior Brian Barger. Next up, Riley Burke, escorted by his parents, Angel and Jeremy Burke. Riley is a 4-year Blue Regiment marcher playing trombone, also has participated in indoor percussion, jazz band, and concert bands. Riley has participated in the ISMA State Solo and Ensemble competition for the past 3 years as a member of the brass choir. Riley plans to study biomechanical engineering at Purdue University, and he wants to use his degree to make prosthetics for both humans and animals. Riley Burke. Next is Will Cantwell, escorted by his parents, Kim and Jeff Cantwell. Will is a 4-year member of the marching band, concert bands, and indoor percussion. He plays saxophone and quads. Will earned the Most Improved Percussionist his junior year and earned a spot in the advanced percussion group. Will plans to attend Ivy Tech to study auto service and collision repair. His goal is to own his own auto body shop. Senior Will Cantwell. Next senior is Dylan Clark, who's escorted by his parents, Amy and Randy Clark. Dylan is a 4-year member of the marching band and saxophone section leader. Has devoted 6 years to band, playing the baritone sax, alto sax, and tenor sax. He is a member of the jazz ensemble and participated multiple times in the ISMA solo and ensemble competition. He's also a member of the Franklin Community Indoor Percussion. Dylan plans to major in music with a minor in technology at the University of Indianapolis. Senior Dylan Clark. Next up, Nicholas Corbett, escorted tonight by his parents, Helena and Todd Corbett. Nicholas is a 4-year member of the band. He's participated in the marching band, concert band, symphonic band, and wind ensemble, playing trumpet. After graduation, Nicholas plans to study computer science at Vancouver Island University in Canada. Nicholas Corbett. Next up is Austin Crover, who's escorted by his parents, Glenna and Justin Crover. Austin is a 4-year member of the Blue Regiment Marching Band and the Wind Ensemble, playing flute. He has participated in the ISMA solo and ensemble competition and has toured 6 countries in Europe with the Indiana Ambassadors of Music, playing in several concerts. After graduation, Austin plans to complete an electrician apprenticeship program. Austin Crover. Next up is Kylie Fahey, who's escorted tonight by her uncle, Jeff Fahey. Kylie has participated in 5 seasons of Color Guard and Winter Guard. She is a member of the French National Honor Society, has earned an academic letter. After graduation, she hopes to attend either the Heron School of Art and Design at IUPUI or the University of Indianapolis. Kylie Fahey. Next senior is Darren Gravett, escorted by his parents, Marcia and Kenneth Gravett. Darren is a 4-year member of the Blue Regiment Marching Band and the Wind Ensemble. Also participated in the show choir band for 2 years. Darren plays both the euphonium and bass trombone. Darren's participated in the ISMA solo and ensemble competition for the past 6 years. This year he earned a gold medal at the state competition. He has also been a member of the IBA All-Region Honor Band several times, was selected for the 2017 IBA All-State Honor Band. He's also participated in the 2016 Impact Band and was an Impact member in 2019. Darren is currently undecided on college plans and instead will join the workforce after he graduates. Senior Darren Gravett. Next up is Katie Harris, and she's escorted by her parents, Angie and Chris Harris. This is Katie's 5th year to participate in marching band and indoor percussion, before she started as an 8th grader. Katie plays bass drum, vibraphone, and other percussive instruments. She's been the bass section leader for 1 year. Katie is an honor student. She plans to attend IUPUC and study forensic psychology. Katie Harris. Alex Hickey is escorted by his parents, Sabrina and Marcus Hickey. Alex is a 4-year member of the marching band, has participated in both the wind ensemble and symphonic band. He has earned a gold placement at the Symphonic Council and the Night of Percussion for solo work. Alex is a member of the French National Honor Society, and he will graduate with an honor diploma after having earned an academic letter. After graduation, Alex plans to attend Purdue University to major in mechanical engineering and a minor in French. Senior Alex Hickey. Next up is Logan Justice, who's escorted tonight by his parents, Mary and Roger Justice. Logan has played trumpet for 4 years in our concert band. He's also participated in the marching band for 3 years and indoor percussion for 2 years. Logan has participated in the Cubs to Grizzlies mentoring program. Logan plans to attend Indiana University and major in animal behavior. Logan Justice. Iris McTarsney is escorted tonight by her father, Donovan McTarsney. Iris is a 3-year band member, playing the flute in both marching band and concert bands. She has been a marching band leadership group member and has earned a gold rating at ISMA State Solo and Ensemble Competition as a member of the Flute Trio. Iris has earned her academic letter and will be graduating with an academic honors diploma. After graduation, Iris plans to attend Indiana University to study health sciences. Senior Iris McTarsney. Naomi Mills is escorted tonight by her parents, April and Barry Mills. Naomi is a 4-year concert and marching band member, playing both saxophone and percussion. She was a baseline section leader for the 2019 marching season. Naomi is a 3-year member of Franklin Community Indoor Percussion. Upon graduation, she would like to study psychology and criminology or criminal justice at Indiana University in order to become a criminal psychologist. Senior Naomi Mills. Michael Maudlin is escorted tonight by his parents, Amber and Larry Maudlin. Hannah Nix is escorted tonight by her parents, Megan and Cody Wilkerson and Matthew Nix. Hannah is a 5-year member of the Blue Regiment Marching Band. This year will be her 6th year participating in the indoor drum line. She is currently the front ensemble section leader. Hannah has been a member of the Student Council for 2 years and earned an academic letter. She would like to attend Meridian University to study secondary education, specializing in mathematics. Senior Hannah Nix. Christopher Ross is escorted tonight by his parents, Karen and David Ross. Christopher is a 4-year member of the Blue Regiment Marching Band. He has also participated in concert bands and the indoor drum line for 4 years. He has played in the front ensemble for 3 years. After graduation, Christopher plans to attend trade school and study welding. Christopher Ross. Next up is Kylie Stahl, escorted by her parents, Angela and Dan Stahl. Kylie is a 4-year member of our concert and marching band, serving as low brass section leader. She has participated in the brass choir for 3 years and the show choir band for 2 years. Kylie's been a student council member and freshman mentor for 2 years. Upon graduation, Kylie would like to study biology and biological sciences at Indiana University or Purdue University in her pursuit to a career in dentistry. Kylie Stahl. Our final senior, Jacob Wilson, escorted tonight by CHS Color Guard Director Kelsey Hernandez. Jacob is a 4-year member of the Blue Regiment Color Guard and a 3-year member of the FCH Winter Guard, looking forward to his 4th season this winter. He's also enjoyed participating in the Unified Track Team for 2 years. After graduation, Jacob plans to work for a year before returning to school. Senior Jacob Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the senior members of our Blue Regiment Marching Band. Please give them a nice hand here. Thank them for all their work, and parents, thank you for all your dedication as well. Great job, group. Thanks for your organization.
Welcome to Grizzly Cub Field, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for another broadcast in beautiful Franklin, Indiana. Your Grizzly Cubs are going up against the 0-2 Perry Meridian Falcons. I'm your host, Thomas Crow, and with me tonight is my co-host, Brian Powers.
Thomas, nice to see you.
Brian, what are you looking at for tonight?
Well, we've got, first of all, a beautiful night for football. The temperature is fantastic. Last week was pretty humid, hot and humid for the players and everyone in the stands, I'm sure. We have a nice air-conditioned booth, so
it's very nice up here.
It was okay. But I think, last week we saw Franklin come out strong. They came out of the gates and just started off and kind of grabbed the bull by the horn, if you will, and they got to a halftime lead, big halftime lead, and ended up winning 63-6. And just see if they can continue that, if they can continue the momentum that they gained last week. Got the running game going. They've got Reed Roberts in his now third start at quarterback, and see what kind of momentum he can get going and continue from last week.
Well, yeah, the Grizzly Cubs are going to look to advance off that victory over Shelbyville, and the Falcons are going to be looking to try and come back from a pretty rough first 2 weeks. They just haven't had a good first 2 weeks. They've gone 40 to 14, I will say, against Franklin Central, and then they lost pretty much a blowout to Decatur Central, 66 to 14. How do you think Coach Cooper's group's going to react tonight to another contest?
Well, I talked to Coach Call about him and said he's a first-year coach here, first-year head coach at Perry, and he is just trying to establish a program, trying to establish some continuity, some momentum, some attitude, and it's kind of the same thing that Coach Call went through a couple years ago, and that's what their coach Brett Cooper is trying to do here. So you just want to see them, if you're him and the fans, just come out and compete. I mean, you've gotten blown out the first 2 weeks, but that's the great thing about this is they come out here now and it's a new week, and they got a chance to respond with some good players, some good skill players that they've got.
Yeah, and we're going to look at for our Grizzly Cubs to just come out and try and continue what they did last week. I think they've had a good mindset all week at practice, as we heard from Coach Call in our Coach's Corner. But they're just going to come and try out and repeat exactly what they did last week. But, Perry Meridian is definitely going to be a better team than Shelbyville was, so it's going to be interesting to see how our team reacts to a blowout win as opposed to Perry's blowout loss.
Right, and at the end of the day, I think Franklin is going to go as Jalen Ward goes.
Yes,
last week just came out of the gate strong with the 30-yard touchdown on his first touch, and he had 66 yards on 3 carries and 2 touchdowns in the first. So he's averaging 96 yards per game and 16.5 carries. So it's they're going to feed him the ball.
Yeah,
they're going to feed him the ball and let him do what he does best. So it's just going to see how the offensive line can react to that and what they can kind of get out of that.
Yeah, so our injury report for our Grizzly Cubs, receiver Carson Hunter will be out this week, as well as Michael Beal, quarterback, and receiver Isaiah Klein, and defensive end Caleb Jesse. But this week we will be getting back, maybe not potentially at full health, as we heard from Coach Call in the Coach's Corner, but nonetheless, Grant Roberts as we go to the national anthem.
Great national anthem there by the Franklin Community High School Blue Regiment Marching Band. They will be performing at halftime as well, and their seniors were honored before the game just a dedicated group of individuals out there performing, and with their season, kind of cut short, it's good to see them able to still perform and show off the tremendous skills that they have.
So as we see the black and white given the coin toss, looks like Franklin has deferred to the second half for the kickoff, meaning Perry Meridian Falcons will be getting the kickoff to begin this game. Now, Brian, as you look through the stats for Perry Meridian, there's one outlier, and that is Reggie McDonald. He has just been on a tear this entire year, averaging 105 yards per game to go along with 2 touchdowns. And the biggest thing when you look at Perry Meridian is of their quarterback Gavin Hart's 17 completions, 14 of them going to Reggie.
Yeah, he's going to be someone who Franklin's going to have to keep an eye on all night. It'll be interesting to see what kind of coverage they throw at him, if they throw man, what kind of a zone, just to kind of see how they want to keep him. And you want to keep him inside the hash. You want to keep him in the middle of the field where you can contain him. You don't want him to get on the outside, run any deep routes or anything where he can utilize his speed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Call does in this scenario. As we do get not a 100% Grant Roberts back after a wrist injury. We'll see if he's going to put maybe a better but maybe not as healthy cornerback on Reggie, or if he goes with one of the safer, healthier options. It's going to be something interesting to look at as we go to kickoff. Kicking off is going to be number 98, Jack Henderson for the Grizzly Cubs, up at the 40-yard line. Looks like it's a little bit of a squib kick. Number 38 for the Falcons gets it, I want to say about the 29, 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's Jeff McClure. You got to wonder if they're trying to keep it away from McDonald on that one. You don't want him to necessarily break one right off the bat. So we'll see what the Grizzly Cubs come out with and how the Falcons come out as well. So starting for the Falcons, quarterback number 12, Gavin Hart. He is a 6'2 senior. In the backfield, he'll have number 27, Aiden Warren, also a senior. And then the wide receivers, Reggie McDonald and Isaiah Hunter. McDonald is a senior, and Hunter is a sophomore.
Looks like they got 2 receivers at the top of the screen, running back in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to the running back. And looks like, once again, our Grizzly Cub defensive line has just been doing well all season, but about a 3-yard gain there for the Falcons.
Yeah, they just ran it right up the middle with Warren, gave it to him, and the Grizzly Cubs, that's something interesting to watch again is what their defensive line is going to do. They held really well last week against Shelbyville, and can they continue that this week?
I believe we racked up 9 tackles for loss against the Golden Bears last week.
They were just living in the backfield.
Looks like it's going to be another handoff, and he's going to cut it back upfield. Looks like number 21, Bo Baker, who actually is leading Johnson County in tackles right now with 20. And as well as Harris Eason in there for the stop.
Yeah, nice play by Baker as Warren had gotten by the initial line of defense coming up and made a good juke move, put his foot in the ground, a quick cut, and got into the hole. So that brings up 3rd down and about 4 for Perry Meridian. Let's see what they can do if the Grizzly Cubs can get a quick stop, a quick 3 and out, and get some momentum going.
With Coach Baker coming from Indian Creek last year being a very run-dominant team, I'd be surprised if he put it in the hands of Hart right now. I'd see them going back to Warren, as they do. It's a counterplay, and it looks like he's going to get enough for the first down. Number 33 for the Grizzly Cubs coming off of injury, Grant Roberts with the tackle, as well as number 17, Noah McCann in there. Yeah,
Noah did a nice job of chasing him down on the backside, but he had already gotten to the corner, so he was unable to stop him on that one. If you remember last week, Shelbyville had a pretty good opening drive going. They were able to move the ball some. But Franklin was able to get a deflection pick 6 by Brody Reinhold right there. So let's see if we can run that magic again.
So as you see at the bottom of your screen, number 33, Grant Roberts, his left hand is taped up pretty well with a cast. It looks like they get it to number 25 for the Falcons, Wayne Day. Looks like it's going to be a loss on the backfield.
Yeah, I think Manny got in there. Manny Danzo got in there, got his hand on him. Was able to hold him up just enough so where the rest of the defense was able to come around and get him for a tackle for loss in the backfield.
Yeah, Manny is actually 2nd or 3rd on our team in average tackle. He's averaging 7 tackles per game over the last 2 weeks. So good start for him. We got the cousins in the secondary, Bo Baker and Brody Reinhold back there again. Looks like it's going to be another. Oh, yep. Looks like it is going to be another handoff to Warren. Looks like Harris Eason was one of the first guys in there. Maybe Trent O'Leary with him.
Yeah, so that's what you'd like to see for the Franklin defense, stopping them for a loss on first down, short gain on second down. That brings up third down and 8, 9. I think we'll call it 9 for Perry Meridian, who hasn't thrown a pass all day. So you kind of get him in a passing situation. And will it be interesting to see if Franklin brings the linebackers through and maybe brings a blitz in?
Yep. If you're Coach Cooper, I think this has to be a situation where you see if senior Gavin Hart can put the ball in the air. And they're gonna go to number 23, and it's out of bounds. Looks like number 88, Ethan Pfeiffer, with some good coverage there.
Yeah, Hunter was the intended quarterback or intended receiver. He had a step on Pfeiffer, but he sailed the pass a little bit out of bounds. So a good break for the Grizzly Cubs, and they're going to get the ball. Pretty good field position as we see Max Lancer going back to receive the punt. He's going to take it about the 25, and they've got Reggie McDonald who can punt. So,
Brian, if you told me that the first touch Reggie McDonald would have on their opening drive was a punt, I'd tell you you're crazy. Coach Cooper has to get him involved if he wants any chance of winning this game.
Lefty. Nice punt.
Max Lancer's going to get it running. He crosses the 40-yard line. It looks like it's going to be about an 8-10-yard return. Number 9 for the Falcons with the stop.
That's Aaron Chum. Nice tackle on that one. He had Lancer caught it running in full stride, and Chum was able to stop him pretty much about 5-10 yards after he made the catch. So good field position starting off for the Grizzly Cubs. They'll be starting off at the 42-yard line.
Yep, and we got number 8 Reed Roberts out there with his buddy Jalen Ward in the backfield, both seniors. Brian, how do you think our offensive line is going to be doing against the looks like a pretty good size Perry Meridian
pretty big defensive line? So this will be a good test for the Grizzly Cubs offensive line.
It's going to be a pass early on. Looks like it's to John Shepard. And that's going to be the first play for the Grizzly Cubs. About a 6-yard completion. Reed Roberts to John Shepard.
Yeah, nice little 6-yard gain right there. Kind of opens things up for you. Isaiah Harwell with the tackle, and the ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line.
Looks like it was the low snap. Jalen Ward's going to get it. Oh, it looks like the ball is out, and it looks like Perry Meridian has it. We're waiting for the call from the official, and it is Perry Meridian ball. Jalen Ward puts it on the ground. He had a first down, and it looks like a linebacker came and punched it out. So,
yeah, I think it got him as he was falling to the ground. We'll take a look at the replay here. He gets through the
number 26.
Number 26, or Thomas Harvey, number 30, I think was the one who punched it out on the initial hit. So, not something you're used to seeing out of Jalen Ward, but when you've got people scratching at the ball every single time, every once in a while you're going to cough it up. So the defense is back on. Perry Meridian basically takes over where they were on the last drive.
It looks like they got Reggie McDonald coming in motion, and it's going to be a reverse. And it looks like number 17 Noah McCann with a huge tackle for loss for the Grizzly Cubs.
Great play. He was able to smell that one out. Didn't go for the double fake. As Hunter got the ball from McDonald on the pitch, and that's going to be about a 9-yard loss, brings up second down and 19. Great play by Noah McCann, just sticking with his discipline, sticking with his side of the field, and when the ball came back around the other side, he was there for that. I mean, you've got to know, you see as a defensive player, when the ball starts going to that side, if your side is on the weak side of that, you stay with your side, because then the ball comes around to the other side.
Yeah, that's a great job by McCann. And had McCann not made the tackle, there were many more Grizzly Cubs who are staying home. And they're going to get it to McDonald, and he drops
he needs to pick the ball up.
Oh, it looks like it has not been called dead yet. And McCann might have a fumble recovery up to the 15. We're going to see what
Good
it
play.
looks like the referees are going to give him the ball. That's a great heads-up aware play out of McCann to go grab the ball. That's just keeping your head on a swivel and making sure you don't hear the whistle. After he didn't hear the whistle, he realized that was a live ball.
You got to kind of wonder if the sun played a part in that, because he's looking right into the sun to catch that ball. But a great play, 2 great plays in a row by Noah McCann. was able to pick that ball up, just grabbed it and started running. And Franklin is in business right now. The ball is at the 17-yard line.
We just need Jalen Ward to keep that confidence and not worry about that fumble. We're going to hand it off to Ward up to the left side. Looks like he's going to get about a 5-6 yard gain off the middle of the field.
Tackle on the play looked to be number 21, John Orena. But that is about a 5-yard gain, like you said, 5-6 yard gain, so it could bring up second down. We'll call it 4.
Interesting for Orena on the Falcons side of things. He has 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and I believe 15 tackles so far this season. So
he's been busy.
He has been busy. Down to about the 12-yard line, 6:39 to go in the first quarter. We're going to hand it off. No, Reed Roberts keeps it. He's got one defender to beat. McDonald makes the tackle at about the 6-yard line. Great open field tackle by McDonald to really save a touchdown there.
Yeah, good play by McDonald, but a great fake by Reed Roberts. I mean, he stuck the ball in the gut of Jalen Ward and pulled it right back out. I think everyone on Perry and even maybe Franklin kind of went with Jalen Ward, but Reed Roberts knew he had the left side open, and he followed that. So first down and goal for Franklin.
Oh, Perry Meridian might get a penalty here for nope, looks like Perry.
They were able to call a timeout before that.
That's a hard timeout to have to use with 6:28 to go in the first quarter. But had they not used that timeout, it would have been a penalty, setting Franklin up for an even closer first and goal.
Yeah, absolutely. So with 6:28 remaining here in the first quarter on the Hubler Automotive Group Franklin FCHS TV game day experience, we'd like to give a big shout out, big thank you to our 2020 Grizz Club sponsors. We couldn't back the blue without you. We've got 2 state champ sponsors. We've got a new one this week, a new state champion sponsor. We had Lancer and BB Architects who were with us last week. So for all your architectural needs, make sure you go see Lancer and BB. And this week joining us is Krukemeyer Machine and Tool. So we see their poster right in front of us. They've got machining in progress, www.krukemeyer.com. That's KRUKEMEIER.com. Lots of E's in there.
A lot of vowels.
And Lancer and BB is www.lancerbb.com, BEEBE.com.
It looks like it's a handoff to the right
sponsors.
side for Jalen Ward. If he can get a stiff arm, he might score. Oh, it looks like he almost got taken. He does. Oh, it looks like he might be down maybe the 1-inch line. But there's going to be a penalty for a face mask. He was pulled down by his face mask pretty egregiously, but he was able to stay up. It looks like he got himself down to about the 1-yard line, if not even closer.
Yeah, you could see him he was trying to get the corner. And he ran probably 10 or 15 yards to get that 1 or 2 yards trying to get the corner. It is a penalty against Perry, so that'll move the ball a little bit closer and probably give Franklin a first down.
First down. Yep. Penalty on the Falcons for a face mask. You know what's incredible? He is being pulled down by his face mask, and Jalen Ward refuses to give up. Grizzly Cubs are going to stay in the shotgun here, so that's going to eliminate the idea of a QB sneak unless Roberts decides to scoot up.
John Shepard back there as well.
And it goes to Shepard, and he's going to run it. He's going to basically just walk it into the end zone. His first carry, I believe, of the season was a 1-yard rushing touchdown.
They came out. It looked like they get a quick snap, and whenever you do something like that, you get a quick snap, you're going to catch the defensive line off guard a little bit, so that gives the advantage to the offensive line, who our offensive line does look a little bit smaller than some of their defensive linemen, but if you go quick snap like that, then you're able to move forward as a yard or two, which is all they needed for the score.
So we got Nick Woods out there. He didn't miss a kick last week, which is a pretty impressive feat for a high school kicker. Let's see if he keeps that streak up. The kick is up. The kick is good. Grizzly Cubs lead 7-0, 6:08 to go in your first quarter on the Hubler Automotive Group FCTV game day experience.
Watch the movement there by the offensive line, just able to move that line. And John Shepard's a big guy. He just ran it right through there with kind of no regard for anything. Just said,
really,
I'm getting
for
this
human
ball
life.
Yeah, I'm getting this ball in the end zone, and you are not going to stop
it. It was interesting to see Reed Roberts, after he gave him the handoff, just kind of gave him a shove and said, come on, John, go score that football.
The old Matt Leinart shove.
Yes. Crow,
do you understand that reference?
Referring to USC 2004 4-ish quarterback, Heisman winner, Matt Leinart.
Yeah. It was,
Played with the great player Reggie Bush.
okay, I'm just making sure.
Lost in the national title to Vince Young's Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, probably widely regarded as the best college football game ever played. I remember that.
But thank you for the patronization, Brian. Thank you.
It's going to be one of those nights. Huh? All right, Jack Henderson to kick off for the Grizzly Cubs.
And they did the exact same kick as they did last time. It's to number 16 for the Falcons. He's going up the middle, and looks like he's tackled by number 4, Max Lancer, as well as number 35, John Shepard. So good for John Shepard to go score that touchdown. And then go and put in some hustle to get that player down for the Falcons at about 26, 27-yard line.
Yeah, that was Seth Bradbury with the return. If he lets that go, I think that goes right into McDonald's hands. So I don't know if they'll talk to him and say, hey, in the future, just kind of let that go through. We'll deal with it. But 30-yard line is where Perry Meridian will take over.
So you got McDonald up in the slot. It looks like Brody Reinhold's going to be covering as well as Noah McCann. And it looks like we got a lot of players in the box for the Grizzlies. It's going to be a handoff to Harvey, I believe.
Tyler
I
Fuqua
apologize.
was the
Warren.
first one there on the scene, able to hold him up for the team to come and tackle him. So maybe a 1-yard gain on that play. But a good job by Fuqua. He's a wrestler, so, you know, he's able to have good form and wrap up there at the line of scrimmage.
So the Falcons, with 5:28 to go in the first quarter, they have a 2nd and 9 in their own territory. McDonald is in the slot at the bottom of your screen. It looks like they put him in motion. And this time he's going to keep it. Trent O'Leary in pursuit, as well as number 17, Noah McCann. And McCann throws him down about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Noah McCann is having himself a great first quarter, especially against Reggie McDonald. 2 tackles for loss and a fumble recovery for Noah McCann.
Yeah, that is exactly what you want from a player with speed, who's been having a good first 2 weeks. I mean, early just set the tone. They did not allow him to get to the edge, and that is all you can ask for from your defense, is not allowing a player like that to get the corner. They didn't allow it. They haven't allowed it, and just really saying, hey, the rest of your team is going to have to beat us.
Yeah, that's great coaching by Coach Matt Taylor's group, just making sure his guys stay home. And it's going to be quarterback Gavin Hart throwing the ball. It's going to be to McDonald. They might get him there for being early, but they're not going to. It's going to be number 88, Ethan Pfeiffer, with the deflection. I was thinking they might get him for being there early, but refs saw it differently.
Yeah,
which is
that's
good for
always
our Grizzly Cubs.
That's always a bang play right there. Is those pass interferences. You know, both players have a right for the ball. Both players are allowed to go there, and if you get there close, then you know, I don't want to say a lot of the times the refs are going to let that go. It's just going to depend on the official that you have.
Yep. Well, it was a good job by Pfeiffer being there on time. So it's going to be a 4th down for the Falcons. It's going to be Reggie McDonald back there to punt again. Lancer up about the 45-yard line to return it. Harris Eason in pursuit, and it's going to be a pretty wobbly kick to Lancer. He's going to get away from it, and it's going to roll all the way to about the Grizzly Cub 26.
A 45-yard punt.
Very good
him.
cut
Nice.
by Reggie McDonald.
Franklin will take over at the 26-yard line. Before they do, we would like to thank our Victory Club sponsor, which is your friendly Franklin Meyer. They are the concession stand sponsor as well. They help us out down there. And the Winners Circle sponsors is Edward Jones Financial Advisor Chris Beckert, Hillview Country Club, TC Electric, and W. Johnson Excavating.
Thank you for
Thank
getting
you
those
to
read off.
all
Brian.
of our Grizz Club sponsors.
It's going to be Reed. Yep, Reed Roberts kept the ball. He fakes us out way too much.
Well, he did not fake out Ronan Hammond, who made the tackle, and a short loss. No loss, no gain.
Nope, no harm, no foul. We just lost it down. So the Grizzly Cubs are going to have 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen, as well as an H-back and a receiver at the top of your screen. I apologize. Jalen Ward's still in the backfield. And it's going to be a handoff to Jalen Ward off to the right side. He's going to cut it back into the middle. It looks like it's going to be about a 2-3. Nope. Ruff's going to give him about a 5-yard gain there for the Grizzly Cubs.
John Arena with the tackle.
He's going to be busy tonight. I think that's going to be a name we call a lot for the Falcons.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Franklin. Let's see if they can do on this one.
Looks like the Falcons might be bringing pressure off that left side. There, low snap by Eli Doobie. And it's going to be throw to Carmelo Cameron, number 14, a great reception on the sideline. A very good throw by Reed Roberts. That's going to be about I'd say about a 15-yard gain for your Grizzly Cubs.
And that's a tough throw. That's going against your kind of outside of the hash marks along the sidelines. That's a long throw. And Cameron did a nice job of getting his feet on the ground as well, tapping him before he fell out of bounds.
It's going to be another just not very good snap, but Reed Roberts corrals it, gets it to Jalen Ward over the 50-yard line. About another 6-yard gain for Jalen Ward. It's going to be his 22nd yard on 4 carries so far for the Grizzly Cubs. Definitely a slower game than it had been at least last week.
Yeah, you set the bar pretty high when you go 3 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. So just over midfield for the Grizzly Cubs, 2:30 to go in the first quarter. We got a 7-0 lead, Grizzlies. And Reed Roberts is back to pass again. And he's going to step up in the pocket, and he's going to run. He stiffs arms one defender. Oh, that might be a late. Oh, nope, they're not going to call it a late hit. And Reed Roberts is hyped up after the play. He likes the contact. He appreciates it. That's going to be about a 8-yard gain for Roberts. His 2nd rush of the day so far. That's just a great ability to step up in that pocket with.
Yeah, I mean, he's really shown a good deal of maturity, poise so far with the low snap on the first one, and then this one when the pocket was collapsing, just stepping up, not forcing anything and running and stepping out of bounds with a little help.
Of course. There's the Jalen Ward up the middle. It looks like he's going to be stopped by a gang of Perry Meridian defenders, but it's going to be about a 6-7-yard gain, and I don't know, that looked like they brought him down a good deal after the time of the whistle. I think the refs might need to keep a close eye on that. We don't want to let it get chippy by any means. 8 yards is Ward's longest rush of the day so far, but I don't know, Brian. I have a strong feeling that that's going to be taken over pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think they're going to, you've got to feed him, but you've got Reed Roberts, too, really starting to come into his own. And if you can get your quarterback passing, kind of like, what you want is last year, what you had with Drew Byerly, just the dual threat of running and throwing, handing off, that just opens up so much.
Referee's going to blow the whistle here. Looks like it might be an equipment malfunction for number 18 on the Falcons, Jawan Dale. Not really sure. He was grabbing his head there, but I couldn't tell if. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be an equipment thing as he goes over to the Falcon sideline. Game continues. It's going to be a handoff to number 35, John Shepard. He stiff arms one defender, and he gets up all the way to the 28-yard line for the Grizzly Cubs. About a 6-yard gain there for Shepard. He already has a touchdown for the Grizzly Cubs. And Franklin is moving.
Yeah, it's 2 different styles of running back. You've got Jalen Ward, who's a quick, bursting kind of running back, and then John Shepard, who's a bigger guy and kind of seeks out contact a little bit.
Snap to Reed Roberts again. It looks like he's going to roll out to the right side. He can't find anybody. He throws it to the feet of Carmelo Cameron. Good defended play by number 7, Jordan Foster of the Falcons. That's going to be Roberts' first incompletion of the day. Still 2 for 3 for 21 yards.
Looks like he was just throwing that one away.
Yep. Looks like the pocket collapsed pretty quickly. He tried to roll out, but they're just 1 inning green ahead of him. A lot more white and blue. It's going to be a handoff to Ward up the middle. And he almost got tackled by the Perry Meridian, number 24, Jalen Summers. But he was able to break a couple tackles and get about another 5 yards for the Grizzly Cubs.
Yeah, so they got a manageable 3rd down and 6 on this one. Be interesting to see what offensive coordinator Cody Call brings up.
Looks like we've taken H-back John Shepard to the top of the field. 3 receivers at the top of your screen. They're going to throw a screen to Shepard, and all he needs is a first down. Great outfield blocking by number 4, Max Lancer. And John Shepard gets his second touchdown of the game, a 19-yard gain, touchdown. Reed Roberts, I apologize, to John Shepard. Great blocking by Max Lancer.
Yeah, he was out there and as the third receiver, the one closest to Reed Roberts, and he just gave him a quick little pass, three-step drop, one step drop, and I didn't count the steps.
Well, it didn't really matter. He got
drop.
the ball. He threw it. Shepard ran it. We scored.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
It was good blocking on the outside. We'll have the replay for you here in a second.
Number 99, Nick Woods. The kick is up. And once again, the kick is good for Nick Woods. As you can see on our replay coming up here in just 1 second, you're going to see Reed Roberts gets the snap. He's going to throw a quick bubble screen to John Shepard. John breaks one tackle there, and I saw very little effort from the Perry Meridian defenders there. As John Shepard almost goes untouched.
Jake Beckert and Max Lancer were both out there with some good blocking and got him free, and he was able just to run up the sideline. So 44 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. On the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard, you see FCHS leads Perry Meridian 14-0, and we'll see how the Grizzly Cubs fare on the defensive end this time. They've looked pretty good here.
Looks like number 98, Jack Henderson's having some trouble picking up all the equipment, but you know the move from Nick Woods kicking the ball up to Jack Henderson, I think it has something to do with his kick of last week as Bo Baker ran down the field and got them down about the 4-yard line. It was one of the best kicks I've seen in a long, long time, but I think our goal still is right now is to not let the ball get to number 1, Reggie McDonald.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if he runs up and maybe catches the ball, because he has not been involved very much at all tonight.
Very little. He has negative yards gained so far, and they're going to kick it right to Reggie. He catches it at the 10-yard line. He's going to come off to the left side. Number 4, Max Lancer is tracking him down. Oh, and he is trying to find somewhere. He finds nowhere. Jake Beckert, number 83, Jake Beckert, I apologize, and number 4, Max Lancer with the tackle.
We just mentioned their 2 names.
We did.
Doing the blocks
the
earlier.
Dynamic
just
duo,
the last
if you
play,
will.
and if you saw in the background, John Shepard was chasing him down too. So there was not a whole lot of running room for Reggie McDonald on that one.
Yep. Gets it at the 10, makes it up to about the 32. So about a 22-yard kick return. Out comes the Falcon offense. Number 12, Gavin Hart, still with, I believe, only 1 or 2 completions so far. I think if they want to have any chance, they have to get Reggie going very quickly. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it looks like maybe a yard for our Grizzly Cub defense. Number 96, Jacob Wagner, one of the first guys to make contact in there, as well as Manny Danzo and Tyler Fuqua, Trent O'Leary. All of them were in there. Really great gang tackling.
Just a short gain, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. And Perry is just really – they're really content on – they're going to be content here on running out the clock of the first quarter. So after 1, Franklin picks up where they left off last week against Shelbyville, and they lead 14-0.
So what do you think? Just as you made the call last week at the end of the first quarter, Brian, do you think their decision to run out the clock had anything to do with the sun? You know, they were out of the sun. Do you think maybe they wanted to be in the sun potentially, or what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think that they just wanted to kind of get out of the first quarter. They gave up 14 points. They didn't score anything. They really didn't move the ball. They didn't get past midfield. So I think it was probably just one of those plays where they're ready to get out and kind of regroup for the second half or second quarter.
Yeah, barring the fumble by Jalen Ward, that was a very good first half for your Grizzly Cubs. You know, we moved the ball very well. Reed Roberts threw the ball very well. He has already has a passing touchdown, and John Shepard has been busy in that first quarter with 2 first-quarter touchdowns.
Yeah, John Shepard's really come a big the first quarter, and you know, Franklin, they're passing, they're running, they look really good right now.
Looks as if they're looking to repeat what they did last week. Number 12 quarterback Gavin Hart back there. Under center. Looks like he's looking to throw the ball. It's going to be to McDonald, and it is incomplete. Grant Roberts was upset with himself for not reading it as quick. But, Gavin Hart has just been seems as if him and Reggie McDonald have not been on the same page one time tonight.
Yeah, if he recognizes where that is, if he recognizes, Grant recognizes that ball's coming to him, he's going to have an interception. That came pretty close to him, and it looked as though there may have been some miscommunication between Hart and McDonald on that play.
Yeah, I mean, really the only success that they've had so far has been 5'10", 210-pound senior Aiden Warren, but it seems as if they've almost taken him out of the game plan at this point. They're going to throw it to McDonald, and it looks like the Grizzly Cubs are all there. Oh, my gosh. Ethan Pfeiffer was one of the first ones there. Harris Easton helped. Trino Leary was there. Just great gang tackling by the Grizzly Cubs. Bo Baker was involved as well.
It looks as though, Perry's just going to try and feed him the ball, and Franklin kind of senses that this is coming, and they're just saying you are not going to beat us like this. You are not going to beat us with him. Find another way to beat us. And we'll see if Perry Meridian can have another way, but right now they haven't shown that they do.
Well, the Grizzly Cubs are content with giving McDonald the ball, but they're content with giving it to him 15 yards behind the line, having him kick it. So it's going to be a pretty deep kick to Max Lancer. He's going to have to back up for it, but he decides not to take it. And once again, it just a great kick by Reggie McDonald down to about the 60-yard line, kicking it from the 30.
55-yard punt.
Boy. Reggie McDonald is racking up punt yardage.
56-yard punt maybe. And that's going to trap Franklin, almost 60-yard punt right there. It's going to trap Franklin inside the 10-yard line where they will take over. So let's see what kind of drive Franklin can put together from inside their 10 with 11:05 just starting the second quarter here. A touchdown here is going to be something that it's, what you want to see, like we talked about last week, is Franklin just putting their foot on the throat of their opponent.
Yeah, 11:05 to go in the second quarter. I mean, it by no means is a touchdown ending the game, but it's going to put a pretty good stamp on the first half at least. Jalen Ward up the middle. Looks like the Grizzly Cub offensive line led by coached by Sean Little will get him about a 4-yard gain on his 8th rush of the game. He already has more rushes in basically in the first quarter than he does the entire last week.
Well, he did rest the entire second half, so he should be fresh.
Yeah. And it's going to be thrown to Jake Becker. He's trying to get a block from Max Lancer, and I think when he caught the ball, he kind of got in the back of Max's.
Yeah, it looks like Reed may have led him a little bit too much, so he wasn't able to get a whole lot on that, but he was still able to get a decent amount to bring up third down, and we'll call it 5.
Yeah, and Reed Roberts is 4 for 5 for 42 yards so far in this first quarter. That's pretty good stat line. First half. That's a pretty good stat line so far. It's going to be a handoff to the left side to Jalen Warden. It looks like he might have a couple blockers ahead of him. John Shepard, one of them. And it looks like he gets over the 20-yard line, which is more than enough for a first down for the Grizzly Cubs. About a 6-yard gain for Ward there.
Yeah, that was a good play by his part, kind of being patient. Sometimes you want to make sure you're not too patient as a running back and try and wait for a blocker to open up a hole for you when you've got one if you just burst. So that's something to keep an eye on, but he was able to move upfield and get the first down.
Yeah, that's 9 rushes for 45 yards for Jalen. It looks like Reed's going to be throwing the ball. It looks like he's going to step up again.
He's got a lot
he
of
had
room.
John Shepard, but he decided to run it anyway, and he gets up over to about the 35-yard line. That's going to be another first down for your Grizzly Cubs. And that's another good run for Reed Roberts. About a 13-yard gain there. Gets him up over 20 yards for the game so far.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He's got a good pocket awareness where he's able to step up in the pocket and just see what's going on around him and just be patient and not force anything upfield.
It's going to be another handoff to Ward up the middle. Looks like he might have gotten a yard, maybe. Chain gang member John Crow is going to give him about 2 yards there.
Looks like Isaiah Harwell in on the tackle for the Falcons. So, like you said, it looks like he gave him 2. Oh, we've got the best chain gang in the state. So.
From what I hear, yes.
Yeah, so rumor has it. I mean, if John Crow puts him there, then you know he's right.
Oh, of course. How could he not be? It's going to be another handoff to Ward up the middle. It looks like he gets a good push from his offensive line. Gets about 6 yards on already his 11th rush of the game. So Coach Call came into this game, and he said, we're going to put the ball in Jalen Ward's hands. We're going to punch it down your throat. It's going to be a third down for your Grizzly Cubs, about 3rd and 2. Be interesting to see what offensive coordinator Cody Call does here. John Shepard in the tight end H-back slot. And it's going to be a design quarterback run for Reed Roberts. John Shepard lays a huge block. And Reed gets all the way up past the Perry Meridian 45 for about a 12-yard gain. And he has been busy on the ground so far.
Yeah, he's really established himself as a running quarterback right now, or not necessarily a running quarterback, but that's a strength of his, and that's something that opens it up a little bit more for Franklin.
Yep. So it's going to be over to about the 44 of the Perry Meridian side, and 3 receivers at the top of your screen. Max Lancer on an island by himself at the bottom, and Reed's looking to Max. Oh, and he overthrows him. Reggie McDonald on the coverage. Had he caught it, it would have been about a 30-yard game for the Grizzly Cubs. And that's the first time this season, at least to my remembrance, that I've seen Reed Roberts put the ball in the air more than about 15 yards. So it's a pretty good start.
Yeah, he's really looked good. That's kind of the first time they've thrown it, like you said, thrown it a little bit longer, a lot of the short passes, short outs. And on this one, they went deep a little bit, and he overthrew him, but he's got the arm.
It's going to be a handoff to Ward up the middle. He looks like – oh, and he's still going. Jalen Ward has one guy to beat, and Reggie McDonald tracked him down by his shoestrings. That's going to be about an 18-yard – no, looks like they're going to give him about 18 there for the Grizzly Cubs. And, oh, man, he had one defender to beat, and that was going to be a house call for Jalen Ward.
That's what we talked about last week. He just keeps his legs moving, and that's what you have to do as a running back. You've got to keep your legs moving, and he did that, and that got him an extra 15 to 20 yards.
And it looks like it's going to give him another gain. He trips over number 30 for the Falcons, number 30, Thomas Harvey, with probably his 3rd or 4th tackle of the game, and that's going to be about an 8-yard gain for Jalen on his 13th rush of the game. We're pounding it with Jalen. That was an interesting hurry-up offense look, as we also might be doing another hurry-up here, trying to wear out the Perry Meridian defenders, especially being in the sun right now. It's going to be a handoff to John Shepard off the left side. He cuts it in, and it looks like he gets about 6 or 7 there on his 3rd rush of the game there.
Yeah, Shepard just kind of gets the ball, and he's just running. He doesn't care. He's gonna run into you. He's gonna run over you. He just wants that contact.
It's gonna be a hand up off the middle to Ward. Looks like he gets himself about a 7-yard gain there. And he already has 14 rushes, not even halfway through the second quarter. This pace, he's going to probably have about 40 rushes. I'm going to run out of spot on my stat sheet. Looks like Perry Meridian stacking the box, knowing that it might be another Ward run. It is going to be another Ward run. And we're waiting for a signal. And it's going to be a touchdown for Jalen Ward. That's going to be a 6-yard touchdown for Jalen Ward.
Yeah, there was contact there at the line of at the goal line, and Jalen just kept his legs moving. That's what we keep talking about. That's what as a coach you want to see from your running backs is just keep your legs moving.
Yep. So that's going to be a 20-0 hopefully soon to be a 21-0, barring a miscommunication or just a bad kick from Nick Woods. But we're going to see this kick go up. And we're going to see this kick be good. It's going to be 21-0. 6:31 to go in the first quarter. Grizzlies.
So watch this. Ward gets through the first line, and then the line right there, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 guys just grabbing onto him, and they can't contain him. And you just love to see that from your running back. Just keep moving. And with that touchdown, we'd like to honor some of our touchdown sponsors for tonight. We've got Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lender, Blex Body Shop, Brady Laurie Attorney, Catalyst Consulting, Cedar Lane Family Dentistry, Crane Credit Union, DeArmond Financial Group, First National Bank, Franklin Dermatology, Franklin Muffler and Brake, Honey Creek Napa Auto Parts, Indy Roll-Offs, Jefferson Street Barbershop, Joco CrossFit, Johnson County REMC, Jones and Anderson CPA, Lock Trucking, Mayor Steve Barnett, Schultz, Pogue, and Pinnock Law Office, Shelby Materials, Shrink Masters, Smith Real Estate, and Votorantum Cementos Prairie Materials.
There it is. So we're going to have number 98, Jack Henderson, back to kick again for your Grizzly Cubs. We're going to see if he puts it in the hands of Reggie McDonald again. And it's going to be another squib kick. It's going to go over the hands of number 16. Number 23 for the Falcons. It looks like he has the left sideline. It looks like he goes down about the Perry Meridian 45, so a pretty good return there for your Falcons.
Yeah, Becker came up and got the tackle across the maybe right, about the 44-yard line, so across the 40 down to the 44-yard line, where Perry Meridian will take over. It's their, I think it's their best starting position they've had.
Mm-hmm.
They started the 40 on the pretty much the first series of the game, or was that the 35 maybe?
Well, all I know, Brian, is that we're up 21-0. There's 6:24 to go, and we're going to have a good defensive drive here.
I like your positivity.
It's going to be handoff up the middle, number 27. And it looks like the tackle there was number 21, Bo Baker, adding to his county leading tackle list with his third so far of the game.
Kind of a stinger, it looks like. He's trying to shake his hand out a little bit.
Might have been a funny bone. I'm not really sure. But looks like he's going to be all right.
So 7-yard gain on that one. Nice opening play for Perry Meridian. They'll have 2nd down and 3, according to the chain gang, which is always right.
Of course. It's going to be handoff to number 27, Aiden Warren again, and he trucks a defender. But the second line, including Manny Danzo, gets there, shuts him down for, maybe a yard. I don't know. I don't like that, but who am I to argue with our chain gang?
Oh, you can take it up with him later.
Yeah, we'll talk. Number 12, Gavin Hart, under center again. Looks like he's probably going to hand it off again. Perry Meridian has not had much success in the air. It's going to be to number 27, Warren. He tries to hurt over number 21, Bo Baker. Baker gets him by the feet. And Warren will have a gain of it. Looks like about 1.5 yards, but it might still be short. They're probably going to have to bring the chain gang out here to.
Yeah, I think they're still pretty short. That the marker is on the 46, and the ball's not quite touching that. So it's going to be 4th down and maybe a foot. Maybe we'll just kind of see if the defensive line can get in there. You kind of wonder. I mean, yeah, they're gonna
QB sneak it. Oh, looks like the Grizzly Cubs are going to use the timeout. Yep. Coach Matt Taylor saw something that he didn't like. He decided to use timeout. You know, something interesting that I saw before that play started, they brought in number 44, Isaiah Harwell, who's a 5'10", 220-pound senior. It would have been interesting to see if they did have a QB sneak, if they were just going to use him to push the pile as far as he could.
Yeah. And times like a play like that, you're open up to, even with a quarterback who's got some experience and can throw, even doing a play action. I mean, it's kind of gutsy, but in a situation where Perry Meridian's in right now, down 21-0 with 4 minutes left in the first half, I mean, you've got to try something because you got to score.
Yeah.
Franklin gets the ball back to start the second half. If you don't get this right here, Franklin, I mean, you could blink and be down 35-0 in the second half. So it's you have to get points on the board on this drive, or else it could be bad news.
Yep. 4th and about 0.5 yard. And Grizzly Cubs, I feel as if they're going to stack the line. Looks like McCann's going to be off at the bottom of the screen coming off the left side. And they're going to be stacking the box about 4 deep. Our linebacker's a little bit far back. We need to bring him up a little bit more. Manny Danza's scooting up. Number 12, Gavin Hart looks like he gets a call from his coach. And they're not going to sneak it. They're going to give it to Warren, and he might be short. We're going to see what the ref gives him.
Yeah,
and they're going to give him the first.
He fell
Yep.
forward for it.
Credit the tackle there to Jacob Wagner, who was one of the first guys on the scene for your Grizzly Cubs. And that's just such a hard play. You get any sort of momentum, and you're not going to be able to stop them. Gavin Hart in the backfield with 3 guys at the bottom of the screen. They're going to be throwing. It's going to be McDonald. It's popped up in the air. And Noah McCann almost continues his incredible first half with a near interception, a diving interception, if you will, off the hands of McDonald. Would have been our second tipped interception in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he almost had it there. I mean, that's good practice by the defensive line, just sticking their hands up in the air and trying to bat down a pass when they see it's coming. And it almost paid off again for him in a big way.
So the Falcons are going to have a 2nd and 10. Still 4:17 to go in the second quarter, so plenty of time. They're going to hand it off to Warren up the middle, and he gets nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe a yard. Jackson Henry, one of the first guys on the scene. His first tackle of the night. And Henry was one of the guys who I believe is going to be starting in for Caleb Jesse, who's on the injury report tonight.
Yeah, the defensive line has just been solid all night, and you just gotta think that the momentum that they had from last week is going to keep going. So we've got 3rd down and 9 here. They're going deep.
It's going to McDonald, and it's overthrown. Ooh, stay off of him, Grant. And there's going to be no extracurricular penalty there. It looks like Roberts might have tripped a little bit. Nothing malicious.
You know, and that play right there is kind of indicative of what has been going on here tonight, is that McDonald has not been able to get involved with the reverse. He's not been able to get involved with screen passes. He's not been able to get involved with really anything short, so they're sending him long. And Hart just can't connect with him. So you've got a guy, you just can't use him right now. Or you can't find him. I mean, they're trying to use him, but they just can't get him involved. And it's got to be frustrating for him. But the Franklin defense, it's just a credit to them.
And a shank off of his foot. But it's going to roll a long ways. Looks like it gets stopped about the 17-yard line. And, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Brett Cooper does at halftime, what adjustment he makes at halftime to try and get Reggie McDonald involved for the Falcons, because right now Reggie has only had 1 touch on offense, and it's been about a 6-yard loss after Noah McCann chased him down on a reverse. So your Grizzly Cubs are going to start with not great field position, but we have had good field position all night, but we've moved. They're starting at the 17-yard line with 3:23 to go.
They still got 2 timeouts.
And it's going to be a design quarterback run for Reed Roberts off the left side. Oh, and that might be late. Nope, not going to be. Number 38 for the Falcons was able to track him down. Jeff McClure, who was the guy who caught the first kickoff early in the game. It's going to be about a 7-yard gain for Roberts to add to his 6th rush of the night. Roberts trying to communicate with Ward in the backfield. They step off about a yard. Get the snap. It's going to be a throw to number 4, Max Lancer. It's a screen pass. He has trouble corralling it, but he finally gets it up to about the 33-yard line. That's going to be about a 7 or 8 yard gain there for your Grizzly Cubs. Reed Roberts continues his pretty quality throwing so far today. 5 of 7. That's Lancer's first completion of the day for 8 yards. Or first reception.
And on that pass, I mean, he zinged it in there pretty good. Sometimes on those you have to lob it. He zinged that one. He knew that the defense was coming quick, and Lancer had a little bobble, but made a nice adjustment. And Franklin's moving the ball again.
We're going to be putting the ball in the air. John Shepard's going deep. Reed Roberts is going to put it up to him. Oh, and it's through the hands of Shepard. Good coverage by number 26, Aiden Warren, for the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know if he got his hand in there or was just able to distract Shepard, get his eye off of it for a second. But that was a good ball by Reed Roberts. That was a good pass, 20 or 30 yards in the air, and Shepard ran a nice route. He had the man beat about a half a step, but he was unable to corral it.
It's going to be a run up the middle of Jalen Ward. He's going to cut back, get to about the 40-yard line. He's going to get about a 6-yard gain. On his 16th carry of the first half, Ward's been a workhorse for us. 3rd and 5 to go for your Grizzly Cubs in our own territory. If we don't get this, it'll probably be a punt. It's going to be a handoff to Ward. It's going to be a delayed handoff, and it looks like he's going to get only about 2 or 3 yards. He's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. 17th carry and counting for Ward, and they're going to bring – yep, looks like Ward and Roberts and the rest of the offensive line are coming out, and they're going to bring on number 4 Max Lancer to kick the ball.
I don't know why Perry wouldn't be at least trying a timeout.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. They're probably just saving
Franklin
them for –
won't punt this until about minute 15 left.
Yep. Just make sure. As long as Lancer understands the scenario.
Clock is down to 5.
Yep, he understands the scenario. High, long snap, but he gets a great boom of a kickoff. Out of bounds at the 32.
So Perry Meridian's going to have to go about 66 yards here in a minute, 10 seconds. They've got 2 timeouts. They've got the players there to be able to do it. McDonald has proven this year that he's got the explosiveness, the ability to do that. So it's just going to be up to Franklin's defense to see if they can stop them here one last time. Go into half with a 21-0 lead and come out. They get the kick in the second half, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So I think this is a very imperative drive for the Falcons. Like you said, you blink, you don't score here. It's 28-0, depending on what the Grizzly Cubs do. But we're going to see what the Falcons can do. See if they can get Reggie McDonald involved because they haven't so far. They're throwing the ball. Oh, it might get intercepted. Oh, Ethan Pfeiffer tries to slide under it, but that was just a poor throw by
underthrew the receiver on that one. And here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to run 3 plays that are passes, incomplete passes, in 15 seconds and give Franklin 55 seconds with 2 timeouts.
And really a pretty explosive returner in Max Lancer. Hart under center for the Falcons. He's going to be throwing the ball again. It looks like he's got Reggie McDonald. It looks like Harris Easton's putting pressure on him. Oh, and Ethan Pfeiffer almost gets it was a second chance at interception, but his second deflection so far on this drive. And I mean,
I think
what's
on
the point
this
of
one,
even throwing
I
that?
think on this one you're gonna run. I think we're gonna see Perry run the ball to see if Franklin's gonna take a timeout. Franklin potentially, I would assume, would get the ball back with about 50 seconds left. They'd have 1 timeout. So it's just going to kind of depend on the punt. I mean, if assuming that they don't throw it, get a first down here. But if McDonald can get his hands on the ball and do something with it, they have a chance here.
Roberts is on an island by himself with Reggie McDonald down there at the bottom of your screen. They're going to throw a screen pass. Harris Easton intercepts it. He tips it. He intercepts it. And it's going to be great field position for your Grizzly Cubs. About the 26-yard line, Harris Easton read the screen incredibly. He's running off the field like a maniac, just like the defensive end that he is.
What a play right there by Harris Easton. We're going to have the replay. Take a look. Harris just throws his hand up, as we've talked about. The ball gets bounced off of the helmet of Aiden Warren right into Harris Easton's hands, and he starts moving, gets another 4 or 5 yards, and Franklin looks to be in good shape right now.
Well, you know, Brian, that was not one of the scenarios you talked about, but it's a very favorable one for the Grizzly Cubs. Roberts is going to throw it. It looks like he's got Max Lancer at the top of your screen. Oh, and just out of bounds. That was Carmelo Cameron, not Max Lancer. Nonetheless, overthrown ball out of the side of the end zone. And it's going to be a second down for your Grizzly Cubs. 27-yard line, 47 seconds to go, and we still have 2 timeouts. Man, what a play by Harris Easton. What a heads-up play, literally using his head to intercept that ball.
He kind of trapped it against the helmet of
Almost
Warren.
a David Tyree kind of play.
Yeah.
We're going to be throwing the ball. It's going to be number 35, John Shepard, who's already had a big first half. He trucks a couple defenders, almost breaks free. He's going to be down at the 22-yard line.
Franklin's going to call a timeout. So that's going to be their second of the half. They're going to have one remaining. And just a reminder, as we've got halftime coming up in 40 seconds, we are going to have a presentation, a performance by the Franklin Community High School Blue Regiment Marching Band. They are going to perform their football season extravaganza, New York, New York. So that will be exciting to see. A little bit of entertainment. I mean, honestly, probably on par with the Super Bowl halftime.
Well, you know, having for our listeners at home having to listen to us for 2 entire halves, I think they deserve some sort of decent audio with the band. So it's going to be good for them to be able to hear something really far more impressive than anything we'll ever say.
I have nothing to add to that other than my complete and utter agreement.
So it's going to be third down for your Grizzly Cubs on the Perry Meridian 23-yard line, 39 seconds to go. 2 guys in the backfield, Jalen Ward, John Shepard along with Reed Roberts back there. Oh, offsides, false start. We're going to see.
It's going to be a false start.
It's going to be a false start. We're going to move back behind to about the original line of scrimmage for – it's going to be ended up being 3rd and 10 from the Perry Meridian 32 now instead of the 27. 33, I apologize. Good-sized offensive line out there for your Grizzly Cubs. Man, if I'm Jalen Ward, I want to run behind those guys. They are some big fellas. 78 Jake Trublett's a monster of a man. Reed Roberts has got pressure coming. That was a risky throw. They might get him for grounding. There was not a receiver in the vicinity.
That is, you don't. I don't want him to do that. You know, that's not something the coach likes to see on that play. Is just him throwing like that. That
was very.
You want
risky.
to, if you don't know where it is. I know this is not the best situation, but you've got third down. You've still got one timeout left. Just kind of take the sack if you don't know where to throw it to.
Looks like they're talking to the Perry Meridian coach. I believe my original call of grounding might be correct.
Yeah,
it is declined. So that's going to give the Grizzly Cubs a 4th and 11. And I'd like to see if they bring Nick Woods out here to kick a ball or if they're going to keep they're going to be keeping the offense out there. It looks like it's going to be a hurry-up offense. See if they can catch Perry Meridian off guard. 33 to go in your first half. And Meridian makes a very smart – Coach Cooper makes a very smart timeout call there. He still has one left, but using a second of the half to call a timeout. And that – I don't think the Perry Meridian defense was prepared. Granted, it was 11 yards needed for a first down, but they just weren't ready.
Yeah, I think it was one of those where they thought maybe they were going to come out and try and kick it when they saw that they were going to go for it, and Franklin ran up to the line fairly quickly. So Perry Meridian had to call a timeout, kind of regroup on defense, see what they think Franklin's going to run. You got to think that they're gonna pass the ball, but then do you overthink it and think, well, maybe they're gonna pass it, so we'll be running the ball. And you've got Jalen Ward. It's when you've got someone like Reed Roberts really starting to get comfortable back there, it opens up so many more options.
You have a lot of options here for your Grizzly Cubs. And they're going to be throwing the ball. He sees Max Lanzer. He throws it to Max Lanzer. It's going to be overthrown. So it's going to be a turnover on downs for your Grizzly Cubs. Perry Meridian's going to start at their own 28-yard line. 28.2 to go in the first half. Only a timeout left. I would not be surprised if the Perry Meridian Falcons just choose, let's run the ball a couple times. Let's take it into halftime. Let's move on. Let's call it a half.
I think there was maybe a little miscommunication on that part. Or I think what happened was Lancer kind of ran into the defender. Mm-hmm. The defender maybe cut in front of him as Roberts was throwing that ball. I think Lancer had made a double move, and he was getting ready to cut up field. Reed threw the ball, and Lancer had gotten out of his rhythm a little bit, so he wasn't able to get to that.
Gavin Hart's going to be throwing the ball. He's looking Reggie McDonald's way, but it's not even close. That's going to be the biggest thing for Coach Cooper going into halftime is get Reggie McDonald, get Gavin Hart on the same page because it's not close right now. And as you were saying with, Reed overthrowing the ball a little bit there, he's got a 56% completion percentage throughout the year so far. Only one touchdown, but only one interception as well, also a touchdown on the ground. So throughout the first 2 games of the season, Reed Roberts has been playing pretty well. And if you guys stick around, we're going to be having first-half stats as well as first-half analysis from yours truly coming up here after your marching band's performance. We still have about 23 seconds left here in this first half. They're going to be throwing the ball again. Reggie McDonald is there for the first time, and that was
bounced. Yeah.
Man, that is for your Grizzly Cubs. It's great to see Gavin Hart and Reggie McDonald having no chemistry, but if you're a Falcon fan, it has to be discouraging.
Yeah, and that's a tough throw. Rolling against your body, throwing against your body, like he was rolling to his left and throwing with his right hand. To the outside, kind of where McDonald was running, it would have been an outside of his body throw. It's kind of a tough throw for a quarterback who's in a little funk right now.
33, Grant Roberts almost gets there, and finally completion. Reggie McDonald's out of bounds with 13 seconds to go. And Brian, you got to wonder.
He had about a half a second, and that ball was coming out.
Brian, you got to wonder. Gavin Hart's been averaging 120 passing yards per game. 40% completion, 2 touchdown, 3 interception ratio. With this really just not quality first half, do you have to wonder if Coach Cooper is going to think about putting in number 10 backup quarterback Mason Rollman, who's only a junior, and to see if maybe he has any chance of doing better for the Falcons? Or you think he's sticking with his guns?
I mean, I think you gotta ride Gavin Hart and just see what he's going to get you in the second half. I mean, you come out and you see what your defense can get you.
Oh, it's a fake punt, and they don't get it. I do not believe Reggie McDonald was able to get the fake punt. And your Grizzly Cubs will have a chance to take a shot here maybe. We're going to have the ball at the Perry Meridian 37-yard line. 10 seconds to go in a timeout. Be interesting to see if your Grizzly Cubs decide to take a shot here.
Might as well.
I see no reason not to.
They've got 9.8 seconds left. You're at the 37-yard line. Throw maybe an under to the 20, 25. You can get a field goal, or you can try for the end zone. You got 2 plays here.
Oh, yeah, bare minimum. And Perry Meridian's definitely backing up. They're thinking shot here, and they're going to see shot here. It's going to be to 14 Carmelo. Oh, it goes through Carmelo Cameron's hands. That would have been the gain they need. But, no harm, no foul. Only about 3 seconds come off the clock.
You can still do another one like that, and you still got your timeout left.
Yep. You still have 2 plays here for sure.
Potentially 3 potentially 2 more plays.
I'd be interested to see, we talked to Coach Call on Coach's Corner this week about getting Nick Woods a field goal. I'd be interested to see if they can get Nick Woods a field goal here. It's a good opportunity. They're going to be throwing the ball again. It's going to be Reed is looking across the middle. John Shepard, he needs to get down. He needs to get down quickly, and that is not enough time for your Grizzly Cubs. It is about a 20-yard pass from Reed Roberts to John Shepard, but
it's hard in that situation where you've got you keep trying to gain, you keep trying to go. It's hard to know. Hey, I've got 6 seconds left. I got to get down. He should have gone down, but you can't fault him for that. He's just trying to get the extra yardage, and he's you can't know that. You're not going to know that. So it's important that. I think he was fighting for the extra yards, so you've got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, so as we go into halftime with your Grizzly Cubs leading 21-0 over the Perry Meridian Falcons, we are going to be seeing our Blue Regiment marching band as Mr. Brian Powers is going to explain them to you here soon.
Yeah, but before we do that, we would like to once again shout out a big thank you to our 2020 Grizz Club sponsors. We could not back the blue
without you.
Our state champ sponsors, Lancer and BB Architects and Krukemeyer Machine and Tool. Thank you to you guys, the state champ sponsor. Our Victory Club sponsor is your friendly Franklin Meyer. They are our concession stand sponsor as well. The Winners Circle sponsors, Edward Jones Financial Advisor Chris Beckert, Hillview Country Club, which Athletic Director Bill Doty is out there always working on their support.
Well, you know,
TC
I heard he
Electric.
doesn't have a great short game. He's working on it.
TC Electric and W.R. Johnson Excavating. And our touchdown sponsors, Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lender, Blex Body Shop, Brady Laurie Attorney, Catalyst Consulting, Cedar Lane Family Dentistry, Crane Credit Union, DeArmond Financial Group, First National Bank, Franklin Dermatology, Franklin Muffler and Brake, Honey Creek Napa Auto Parts, Indy Roll-Offs, Jefferson Street Barbershop, Joco CrossFit, Johnson County REMC, Jones & Anderson CPA, Lock Trucking, Mayor Steve Barnett, Schultz Pogue and Pinnock Law Office, Shelby Materials, Shrink Masters, Smith Real Estate, and Votorantum Cementos Prairie Materials.
Yep, and Grizzly Cub fans, right now you're going to be, as you see on your screen, it's our Franklin Community High School Blue Regiment Marching Band, and they will be presenting their 2020 football season extravaganza, New York, New York. We will see you in about 10 minutes, Grizzly Cubs.
Hello? Mom, brace yourself. I moved to New York City. Look for my name in the neon lights of Broadway. I will not miss this chance. Because as they say, things move fast in a New York minute.
once again. That was the halftime performance by the Franklin Community High School Blue Regiment Marching Band. That was New York, New York. And unfortunately, due to restrictions from the COVID-19 pandemic, the band and guard will only be performing locally and for Franklin's home football games. But the Blue Regiment is a 5-time ISSMA Scholastic Class A state finalist. The Franklin Community High School Instrumental Music Department is also a 9-time recipient of the Indiana State School Music Association All Music Award. The guard director is Kelsey Hernandez. Band directors are Tim Kosh and Jason Hammond Wood. And the Blue Regiment was directed tonight by drum major Nikolai Shergi. So fantastic job by the Blue Regiment Marching Band once again to see. Great to see all of those hard-working individuals get their time to shine despite their season being cut a little bit short by this pandemic that we are all facing. So, at halftime, Franklin leads Perry Meridian 21-0. We will be back in just a little bit here on the Hubler Automotive Group FCHS football presentation.
Please go to franklinbridgeclub.com to learn how you can help support our Grizzly Cubs. Let's go Grizzly Cubs!
All right, Grizzly Cub fans, I'm going to do a little bit of a halftime recap for you. So, of our first half, our quarterback, Reed Roberts, was 7 for 12 for 75 yards on a touchdown, as well as 6 carries for 46 yards on the ground. Our running back, really our workhorse in the first half, Jalen Ward, had 17 carries for 101 yards on a touchdown. He also dropped the ball and had a fumble early on. John Shepard, who scored 2 touchdowns for us in the first half, had 4 carries for 34 yards and 3 catches for 32 yards. Max Lancer had a catch for 8 yards. Jake Becker had a catch for 2 yards. And Carmella Cameron had the longest catch for 15 yards for your Grizzly Cubs. And then we got, on the defensive end of stuff, Harris Eason with 2 tackles and an interception. Jacob Wagner with 4 tackles. Noah McCann with a huge first half, 3 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and almost a tipped interception. And then Bo Baker continuing to do his really just some good work for the Grizzly Cubs and getting 4 tackles to add on to his Johnson County leading. I believe that will be his 24th tackle of the season so far.
20 tackles so far.
Yep. So with your Grizzly Cubs up 21-0, there's about 3 minutes to go. And halftime, we will come back to you very shortly. All right, Grizzly Cubs, we're back with you. The halftime clock has just expired, and it looks like all the players are down at the sidelines. Perry Meridian's still over at their end zone for the game right now. But Brian, give me a little bit of analysis for this first half.
Well, I think we just saw a great all-around performance by your Grizzly Cubs. I mean, offensively, you had, and it wasn't even one thing that you can just kind of point to. You had, whether it was Jalen Ward, whether it was Reed Roberts throwing, running, whether it was John Shepard. I mean, just an all-around performance that they had time. The offensive line gave them time. Defensively, I mean, with the interception from Harris Eason, not allowing Reggie McDonald to get involved at all in anything. Just a great performance all around, both sides of the ball by the Grizzly Cubs. And now they get the ball back to start the second half, up 21-0, and they can really just you don't want to say put the game away, but they can really do some damage right here. I mean, you just want to see them continue that sort of momentum that they've had the last really 5 quarters of football, or 6 quarters of football.
Yeah, something I was impressed with in that first half was our Coach Sean Little-led offensive line. You know, left tackle Austin Mercer, and then Tyler Jewell, Eli Doobie, Jake Johnson, Jake Trueblood really just were enforcing on that Perry Meridian defense. We weren't getting very many huge games, but we were constantly ripping off 7, 8, 9-yard runs by Jalen Ward and even Reed Roberts. So you really got to attribute that to our offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, he had time. He stepped up in the pocket. When he stepped up in the pocket, he wasn't getting pressure. It was just to buy himself more time, and he did a nice job. Reed did a nice job of that. So see what happens here in the second half.
Looks like it. Let's see if it went out of bounds or was looks like it's going to be a touchback. Oh, nope. Referee tricked me out last second. That's unfortunate.
I don't think they could decide on that one, it didn't look like.
Yep. So that's going to move the ball up. I'm not sure how high school rules work. I believe it'll be up
35-yard
line.
So Franklin will get good field position to start the second half. Let's see if they can take over and get a good drive here, a good sustaining drive to really just continue the momentum in the second half.
Yeah, so Perry Meridian, if they chose to there, could have re-kicked the ball.
I think they would have.
No, I apologize. Franklin could have made Perry re-kick the ball, but we choose not to. We take the 35-yard line, and nothing to complain about here. Jalen Ward off the right side getting a run. Looks like he's going to get about a 2 or 3 yard gain up to about the 40-yard line. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain for Jalen Ward to add on to his 101 yard, make that 106 on 18 carries so far. It's going to be up at the Franklin 40-yard line really very early in your second half. And Reed Roberts is going to have 3 receivers at the top of the screen, and Carmelo Cameron at the bottom, guarded by number 7, Jordan Foster. It's going to be a handoff up to Jalen, up the middle. A big hit. Looks like one of our offensive linemen just got trucked by our own running back. Number 76, Danny Groves, just took a shot to the back by Jalen. But chain gang is moving, and it's going to be a first down for Jalen Ward.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to try and get him established a little bit here in the second half. Like I said, he was already over 100 yards in the first half, so they can keep him going, keep the clock moving. Things will look good here in the second half for Franklin.
It's going to be another run for Jalen Ward off the left side. He's being patient. He's trying to find something, and he falls ahead over to about the 50, maybe just about the 50-yard line. And he's being a workhorse once again for your Grizzly Cubs. 20th carry of the game for Jalen Ward, and they're going to take him out. Number 3, Will McLaughlin, enters the game for your Grizzly Cubs, and he's going to get a carry off the right side, getting a block for John Shepard. And it looks like he's going to get a pretty good sum of yards. It's going to be a first down for your Grizzly Cubs. It's about a 5-yard run for number 3, Will McLaughlin.
Yeah, he just comes in. Last week he got a good amount of carries, especially in the second half against Shelbyville.
About a 50-yard performance.
Yeah, and he's coming back in here in the second half. Jalen Ward stepping off on the sidelines, and it's good for a Franklin first down, moving it on the first drive.
I think Franklin's smelling blood. I think Franklin's getting real close to about running this thing out. Oh, and it looks like a miscommunication on the handoff. But number 3, Will McLaughlin, gets it all the way up past the 20, up all the way to the 15-yard line for your Grizzly Cubs. What a run by Will McLaughlin. Carries at least 2 Perry Meridian defenders with him en route to about a 25-yard gain for your Grizzly Cubs. It's a heck of a run.
I think if you
Coming up
watch
on your
that,
replay here, you see him drag not 2, but 3 Shelbyville defenders take Will McLaughlin down all the way up to the 15-yard line.
I think what happened on that one was Roberts saw that there was defense coming, and he wasn't sure. He was thinking
It's going to be a
about
run off to the
pulling
left
it
side
out,
for Jalen Ward. Looks like he gets all the way up to the Perry Meridian 5-yard line.
I think the last 2 plays here have been really nice job by Reed Roberts as well, because they're running the little RPO, and he's sticking the ball right in there, and he almost took it out on the last play to McLaughlin, but he kept it in.
You know what could be happening here is they're setting up maybe a Reed Roberts touchdown run. Oh, please keep it, Reed. Tony Romo? Reed Roberts off the left side. He keeps it just as we thought he would. Takes it to the left side, breaks the tackle, and scores. 5-yard rush for his second rushing touchdown first rushing touchdown of the game so far for Reed Roberts.
Oh,
Does it get much better than that?
I don't know how you're going to get out of here with your head the size it is right now.
Nick Woods over to kick for your Grizzly Cubs. The kick's up. The kick is good. Nick Woods adds to his total.
All right, let's see the replay here. He fakes a handoff to Jalen Ward. Fools about everyone. Has to beat McDonald at the line or at the goal line. He does. In for the touchdown.
You know, Brian, you said that he fools almost everyone. I wasn't fooled. I'm thinking, Coach.
Say that.
I don't know. Coach Cole might need to hire me as a defensive coordinator after that call.
So on the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard, Franklin Community High School leads Perry Meridian 28-0. 9:23 remaining in the third quarter. We are switching subjects, not letting Thomas talk anymore. And let's see what Franklin can do on defense, the first defensive possession of the second half.
Yep, so Jack Henderson is going to be kicking the ball at the 40-yard line. Reggie McDonald is back at about the 15, and still, nothing from Reggie McDonald, averaging over 100 yards receiving for the Perry Meridian Falcons, and I believe he's maybe 10 yards, maybe. I honestly could not tell you. Nothing good, I can tell you that.
You know everything now, so.
And they're going to get it at about the 25-yard line. He's going to try and he's running a lot of east to west, very little north to south. Gets it up to about the 35-yard line for the Perry Meridian drive. And
Seth Bradbury again, his second return of the evening. They will take over at the 35-yard line, where it will be a first down for the Falcons. So let's see what the Grizzly Cubs can do on defense here, if they can stop them and come down and give it maybe a 35-0 lead.
Yeah, Brian, with 9:18 to go in the third quarter, this game isn't over yet, but like I said earlier in that first drive, Franklin's smelling blood. This might be the drive for Perry Meridian if they want any chance to not have another blowout loss. They're going to get it to Warren, and he's going to get about a 2-yard gain up to about the 42-yard line for the Perry Meridian Falcons. And, Brian, 9:07 to go here in this third quarter. If Perry Meridian doesn't score here, do you think that might be pretty much as close as you get to calling it game?
Well, yeah. I think, you've got to score. You've got to start scoring pretty quickly, and you've got to get some stops, which you haven't totally been able to do tonight. So, you've just got to get any kind of momentum if you're Perry Meridian that you can. They really just need to start by getting a first down is kind of where they're going right now.
And it's going to be, Reggie McDonald's very open. He catches at the 40. Might have been a miscommunication there. And it looks like a huge game for the Falcons. And, Brian, I think we might have missed something. That might not be Gavin Hart behind center there.
No, that looks to be Mason Rollman. Boy. I was way
man.
off on that when you're sitting here calling touchdown plays. I'm totally missing who the quarterback's going to be in the second half.
So if you missed our first half, I did guess that Mason Rollman was going to be coming in for Coach Cooper's team. And already him and Reggie McDonough are on a lot better chemistry than Gavin Hart and Reggie ever were. It's going to be a handoff to Warren and maybe a yard there for the Perry Meridian Falcons. Looks like Harris Easton was one of the first ones in there for the stop, as well as number 96, Jacob Wagner, for his 5th tackle of the game. Number 53, Trent O'Leary, coming off out of bounds. Looks like the Grizzly Cubs are only going to have a 3-man front here. Couple extra secondary members there. And Rollman fakes the handoff, and he might have McDonald. And almost intercepted by ball hawk number 40, Brody Reinhold. He was looking for number 7 of the career to continue to build on his career interceptions record for your Grizzly Cubs. And as we talked about with Coach Call earlier in the Coach's Corner this week, he was singing Brody's praises as just a safety with great awareness and really just a guy who can get to almost every ball. And as you could see there, almost interception.
Yeah, and I think, I wonder if Mason Rollman, he's a lefty. I wonder if that kind of threw Franklin off as on that first pass as he's rolling, and then he was able to switch instead of coming from his right hand. It may have switched or may have messed him up a little bit. You never know.
It looks like Mason Rollman's going to be throwing the ball again, and it looks like it's going to be to McDonald again. Number 18, Tyler Fuqua, puts the hurting on Rollman way in the backfield, and that was just a very overthrown ball for the Falcons. It's going to bring up 4th and 9 from the 30-yard line. And if you're Coach Cooper here, I'm thinking you got to start going for it.
Oh, yeah. There's no more punts in
No.
this game if you're Perry Meridian.
So this is a big play for the Falcons. 7:38 to go in the third quarter. 4th and 9 from the Franklin 30. I apologize. And Perry decided to take their first time out. On the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard, you will see that a timeout has been charged to Perry Meridian. They still have 2 more in this half, as you see them get put back up by our director, Mr. Kevin Hankins, best in the business.
Chain gang, best in the business. Hankins, best in the business
Broadcasters, top 5,
in the county.
maybe.
Yeah. Hey, you got the publicity in the paper this week. Your picture was in there. Is that up in your room? Did you hang that up?
Actually,
Frank
we
did
have
that?
we have a walkway entry into our house, and I decided to get it framed and just set right there. I mean, it's a good 100-foot painting of just my face.
Yeah. Just everything else was like blurred out. Just your
Even the only
head.
only the only words that are still in there are just my full name.
I mean, if you're gonna make it big, you got to make it big.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that without you. Couldn't do it without our cameramen. Couldn't do it without Mr. Hankins. Couldn't do it without any of them.
Your ego is getting too big.
Oh, Noah McCann misses the sack. Harris Easton's chasing him down. He gets him down. The 4th and 9 turns into 1st and 10 for your Grizzly Cubs. Harris Easton's holding his hands up like a maniac. He's a defensive maniac with his first sack of the season to go along with an interception and 4 tackles today. What a game for Harris Easton.
Yeah, look at him. Just chasing him down. Not going to let him and Manny Danzo, number 18, Tyler Fuqua in there, and they were not letting him get away. So Franklin takes over. Chance to go up 35-0 with 7:32 remaining in the second half.
Yep, so the Grizzly Cubs are going to be starting at the 41-yard line. Roberts back there with Shepard and Ward. He's going to hand it off Shepard, and he's got a lane. Looks like he's going to get about a 5-yard gain for your Grizzly Cubs. Good hole there created by the offensive line. And for Shepard's 5th carry of the day, call that 39 yards on 5 carries.
And he's been a rumbling and a bumbling and stumbling all over the place.
Great call. So it's going to be Ward with the handoff now. It looks like he's got some room. He gets about a 10, 12-yard gain for your Grizzly Cubs. And it's going to be another Franklin Grizzly Cubs.
First down.
It's the first time we've been able to execute that.
No, that's the first time we have executed it.
Yeah.
There's been
First
plenty
time
of
we've
times we
tried.
could have.
It's going to be a pass for Reed Roberts. He finds John Shepard out of the backfield. John Shepard puts a stiff arm on Reggie McDonald, gets about a 9-yard gain for the Grizzly Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, you see that in that play right there. Reggie McDonald, 5'9", 170. He's a speedy guy out there, but at the same time, when you're in a situation like that, and you've got John Shepard, who's 6'1", 210 coming at you, that's the 5'9", 170 is a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yes, for sure. So it's going to be a delayed handoff to Jalen Ward. And off to the left side. Jalen Ward has one guy to beat. Can he get to the left sideline? He will. That's going to be a touchdown for your Grizzly Cubs. 33 yards. Jalen Ward. And that's going to be his second touchdown of the game. Oh, man. What a run by Jalen Ward. Going up the middle. Wow. What a run by Jalen Ward. 33 yards. Adding to his that'll be 139 yards and 2 touchdowns for Jalen Ward so far. The kick is going to be up from Nick Woods in just a second. It's up. It's good. Your Grizzly Cubs are up 35-0 on the Perry Meridian. And as you see here, John Shepard with a huge block, and he just outruns number 26, 33 yards to the house for his 6th touchdown of the year, second of the night, to add to 139 rushing yards for Jalen Ward. Wow.
Yeah, great night for Jalen Ward right now. John Shepard just showing his versatility, receiving, blocking, running. We're really just seeing a continuation of Franklin from last week. Dominance over Shelbyville, and this week dominance over Perry Meridian. And it really next week when they go to Whiteland for the rivalry, do we call it the 31, the US 31 rivalry or anything?
I like that.
US 31
the North-South rivalry.
Now, unfortunately, we will not have that.
No,
next week,
unfortunately for us, but unfortunately for the listeners.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Really, I feel bad for everyone who cannot watch us.
Yeah. I mean, you know what would be interesting is instead of having the game being shown, just show us talking. Would that be more interesting?
Well, I think so. I think there would be part of it. You know, we don't want to take away from the game, but I think our verbalization of the game.
It helps.
Yeah.
So Jack Henderson to kick, and that's going to be another big kick. Looks like it's going to go to number 27 for the Perry Meridian Falcons. He's going to go off the left side. He's got some running room. He's up past the 40, past the 45, steps out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Some good blocking by Falcon special teamers there. And that's going to be the best field position for the Falcons yet.
Yeah, nice run, nice return. They're going to take over about the 50-yard line. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see what they can do. See if they can punch it in and take this under 35-0, take this 35-7.
Yeah, so the Falcons are going to be starting at the 46-yard line. And it's still going to be number 10, Mason Rollman, the junior, out there for the Falcons. Let's see if they decide to get running back number 27, Aiden Warren, involved. And they do. It's going to be off to the right side. And it's going to be a big run for Aiden Warren. He's throwing Franklin defenders off of him. Somebody take that man down. Wow, what a run by number 27, Aiden Warren.
Good run by him, just moving the pile, keeping his legs moving. His offensive line got in there, kind of helped him out.
I think he was able
to
the ground at one point.
Yeah, he was able to get a first down off of that, though. He got hit probably about 6 yards in and just made it go four or 5 more yards and got the first down.
Good start to the drive by Perry Meridian. And, I mean, this might be, according to at least the recollection of my brain, this might be the furthest Perry Meridian's made it so far.
Well, last
into
drive.
Franklin territory, besides last drive, of course. I don't have good memory. Oh, number 17, Noah McCann gets faked out. Another good run by Aiden Warren. About a 12-yard game for the Falcons. Up to the Franklin 31. And Perry Meridian 2 plays in. They are driving on the Grizzly Cub defense.
Yeah, they looked pretty good on the last drive. They had a couple good long passes, and Rollman is getting a little bit of momentum for them. So see if they can punch it into the end zone here.
Rollman hands it off to Warren again, and that one was smelled out by the Grizzly Cubs. Number 40, Brody Reinhold, coming up from a safety possession to make tackle. And there's a man down for the Falcons, just kind of fell down. He might be cramping. I'm not really sure what just happened there. That was interesting. Meridian defender down after kind of just collapsing. We're going to hope he's all right.
So we've got 3:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Franklin with a 35-0 lead. They are on defense here. It's going to be second down and about 8 for Perry Meridian. When we come back into action, as that is number 44 for Perry Meridian, who is Isaiah Harwell, and he is up and walking off on his own power. So you maybe wonder if he got the wind knocked out of him on that play.
Yeah. It was just interesting. At the end of the play, he was standing up, and next thing you know, he's on the ground. So the Falcons are going to take back the field with 2nd and 8 at the Grizzly Cub 30-yard line. Rollman out there with Warren again. It's going to be a misdirection play to Warren, and it's going to get smelled out by the Grizzly Cubs very quickly, but he's still on his feet. It looks like he's going to do the best he can to get about a 2-yard gain there. And that was just sniffed out by the Grizzlies very, very quickly.
Yeah, they sent him running left to right. He was trying to find a hole. There was nothing there. And as we've seen all night from Franklin, just being able to fill the gaps at any point and stop the run, just not letting Perry Meridian really get into any sort of rhythm, whether it's running, passing, anything. And it was really early in the game when they tried the double reverse, and they kind of started going in their bag of tricks, and Franklin was able to stop that one
very quickly. 3rd and 6 for the Falcons. Looks like Franklin's bringing pressure. They are going to bring pressure, and that's going to be a throw for the Falcons. Caught. No, dropped, intercepted by number 88, Ethan Pfeiffer. Wow, that was an interesting play. It was caught, it was dropped, it was tipped, but ultimately the blue and white intercepted number 88, Ethan Pfeiffer, and he is still on the ground. He just ripped it away from number 23, Isaiah Hunter, and just still down on the field as of right now.
You wonder if he maybe got the wind knocked out of him when he fell down.
Looks like he's up on his feet. The crowd's cheering for him. Not only are they cheering because of he's all right, but they're cheering because what a play. Wow. I mean,
yeah, fantastic.
We're going to be getting an instant replay for us right here. And as you can see, he just rips it right off the head of number 23 for Perry Meridian. And we're going to go back on that replay and show it a little bit further.
So it was a good pass.
We're going to go in slow motion for you. It's
tipped it up. He tipped it out of his hands because
off a shoulder.
Hunter had grabbed it. Hunter had caught it, and he was able to come in from behind, tip it up, and as you can see,
Grizzly Cubs are going to be handing it off to Jalen Ward. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain for the Grizzly Cubs. What a pick by Ethan Pfeiffer.
Just fantastic camera work right there by our guys, and good directing there by Kevin Hankins.
Getting you the slow-mo replay. We haven't pulled that out yet.
Slow-mo back.
It's going to be a handoff to Ward up the middle again. He didn't get far. To go along with his 6-yard gain earlier, they're going to give him about 2. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for your Grizzly Cubs. 1:08 to go in your third quarter. Grizzly Cubs 35, Falcons 0. Reed Robertson in the backfield with Jalen Ward. One receiver at the bottom of your screen. And it's going to be a handoff to Jalen. Oh, no, Reed Roberts kept it. and he slides down at the Grizzly Cub 36-yard line. That's going to be about a 6-yard gain for Reed.
There were 4 Perry Meridian guys around him. He had the first down. I mean,
He made
there's
a
no
business
reason.
decision.
Yeah, there's no reason to risk getting hit by 3 or 4 guys when you can get down and live to see another play.
Handoff to the right side to Will McLaughlin, and he's going to get taken down by 3 Perry Meridian defenders in the backfield. And there are a couple very hyped up Perry Meridian defenders for not really sure what reason, Brian.
Well, it could be some guys who haven't played a whole lot before, and they're coming in, getting some play time. And you like to see that from your guys off the bench. If that's the case, where you're coming in and you're playing for the first time maybe, and you're getting some action on a Friday night, you like to see them just still hyped up, even though the score's 35-0 on the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard.
End of your third quarter for your Grizzly Cubs. We're going to be flipping field, and just once again a dominant third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a word from our Hubler Automotive Group sponsors.
Is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go Grizzly Cubs.
So your Grizzly Cubs are back at the end of the third quarter, and Reed Roberts is going to take it up the field. He fumbled the ball. He had the first down. It was popped out. Reed Roberts with his first turnover of the game, a fumble. So the Falcons are going to take over the ball near midfield. And, from that Reed Roberts fumble, Perry Meridian's going to have a good chance to get their first score in the game. Grant Roberts is blitzing, and wow, that was a good catch by number 23, the Falcons. Number 23, who is Isaiah Hunter. Good catch on the sidelines for the Falcons. That's going to create a 2nd and 5 for your Falcons.
I'll be, if you're Coach Cooper for Perry Meridian, I'll wonder what they'll do this week at quarterback, because you've taken Gavin Hart out. I wonder if you'll go with Mason Rollman again next week, as he's proven to be able to move the ball a little bit, move the team, but they haven't, once again, they haven't really gotten McDonald in action or involved, except for the very first pass, the second play of the second half. So I think Coach Cooper probably has a decision to make. The first 3 weeks they've started with Gavin Hart, and we'll see what they do going forward if they do roll with Mason Rollman.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously it won't be something that we talk about in future broadcasts, but Rollman only being a junior, probably be their guy next year, so it'll be interesting if he keeps the job this year too. He drops back to pass, and he is down. He is out. It's Jacob Wagner. He does it again. His 6th tackle of the game. Jacob Wagner has just been a monster for the Grizzly Cubs so far this year.
Yeah, this defensive line of Franklin has really looked very impressive the last 2 weeks. They are he's got 3 tackle for losses already coming into the game, and that was his 4th. They've just been able to show their speed. They're maybe not as big as other defensive linemen, but they are quick. They are explosive and quick to get into the backfield.
Yep. Falcons at the 50-yard line. It's going to be a 4th and 9.5 for the Falcons. They're going to reach back to pass, and Franklin's bringing pressure. He's just going to throw it as far as he can, as high as he can, but there's no point of throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, he just threw it out of bounds. I mean, there was nowhere to go with that, and so there was nowhere to go with that. And Franklin's going to take over on first down as the clock keeps moving inside of 8:50 in the second half.
Yeah, with it
And
being a 35-0 running clock.
Yeah, so we've got a couple words from a couple sponsors right now.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. And here we are, right here, right now.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
So as we come back from the ad, it was a Grizzly Cub 8-yard gain. It was Reed Roberts throwing out to our slot receiver, Jake Beckert in the flat. Gets it up to about the 40-yard or the 42-yard line. I apologize for your Grizzly Cubs. Reed Roberts is going to take the ball again. It looks like he's going to throw it to number 30, Titus Phillips, out of the backfield. Looks like Titus needs. Oh. Not sure if they're going to get Carmelo Cameron for a blindside block there. That looks like what it might be. Looks like they're going to be pushing him back. We're going to need the call from the official here to determine what exactly did happen. But as it stands right now, Titus Phillips will have a first down off the pass from Reed Roberts. Blocking the back on offense. Looks like they caught Carmelo Cameron there trying to spring Titus Phillips a little bit further. So that's going to move it back for your Grizzly Cubs. Takes away a first down, but it's only back to the 48-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 8 for your Grizzly Cubs. 6:55 to go in the fourth quarter, 35-0 Grizzlies. Reed Roberts gets the snap, hands it off left side, Titus Phillips. Tries to hesitate from the defender. He's still on his feet. And they're going to blow him dead at the – ball comes out, but the play has already been dead. 46-yard line. It's going to be about a 2-yard gain for Phillips, bringing up a 3rd and 6 for your Grizzly Cubs. 3rd and 7, I apologize.
I think in looking at this game, one thing that sticks out to me is last week Max Lancer was kind of the guy for the Franklin offense, Max Lancer and Jalen Ward. This week Lancer has been fairly quiet, and John Shepard has kind of been the guy. So – just opening up so many different options for Reed Roberts in this Franklin offense has been it's really been the past couple of weeks has been helpful in getting some guys some reps and starting to give them more confidence as we roll into the meat of the schedule. You know, you've got Whiteland next week, you've got Mooresville coming up, you've got Decatur Central in the season. There's Plainfield, lots of good teams coming up. And to get these guys this confidence and rolling into this heart of their season at 2-1 is something that Coach Chris Call has to love.
Yeah, and something that's been opened up as Max Lancer awaits the snap for the punt has been Reed Roberts' running game. He has 6 carries for 46 yards so far this week. Max Lancer with a boomer out at about the 7-yard line makes up for a pretty lackluster kick earlier on in the game, but a very good kick. Here, they do kind of the rugby-style kick where he runs as far as he can, then he kicks it. And, as I was saying before the very good punt, Reed Roberts has just been very effective on the ground. Granted, he did have a fumble earlier on in the game in this fourth quarter, but he's been very effective on the ground, Brian.
Yeah, if you look at any kind of negative that you get from Franklin, I think you would look at the 2 turnovers that they had. Jalen Ward put it on the ground early. That's not something he does normally. That's not something you've seen him do. So you'd like to think that he's got that over with. With Reed Roberts, he just did it a little bit ago. I'm sure the coaches will be on him about protecting the ball. But the 2 turnovers is probably the one thing you could kind of look at and say, hey, this is something we need to clean up. But other than that, the performance from the Grizzly Cubs has been fantastic for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, so Aiden Warren gets the handoff. Takes it about 8 yards for the Perry Meridian Falcons. Gives them a little bit more breathing room because they're probably going to be throwing the ball a lot this possession. And that probably takes Warren up to near 60, 70 yards in the game. It's going to be another handoff to Warren, and he's going to get taken down in the backfield. McCann was one of the guys there. other Grizzly Cubs involved. Man, what a performance this week, or this game by Noah McCann. 4 tackles, 2 for loss, a fumble recovery. Then Harris Easton as well with 4 tackles, a sack, and an interception. Coach Cole's going to have a tough challenge deciding who's going to be his defensive player of the game. Not to mention Jacob Wagner with 7 tackles and a sack. It's going to be a handoff to Warren and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Our chain gang says it's 4th down, and Perry Meridian has no other option than to punt. And Max Lancer's going to have probably going to get the Grizzly Cubs pretty good field position, staying in even before the 50-yard line. So we're going to see how this punt from Reggie McDonald goes. And it's getting close to time for Franklin to put in the subs. We're going to see how it's going to go on offense if we put any different guys in.
Yeah, I would think that they probably would here under 3 minutes to go and getting the ball back.
Pretty good cook. Lancer bobbles it, but he gets it at the 50-yard line. He's got to break a tackle if he wants to bust this. He won't bust it. Gets it about the same spot he caught it, maybe about 2 yards. And we are going to go to another ad for you.
That water, you're gonna want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that. And let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Days have always been with live bait.
Thank you to State Farm for that advertisement. It's going to be Jalen Ward off the left side. He's got some room. Number 1, Reggie McDonald takes him down. It's about another 20-yard gain for the Grizzly Cubs, and Jalen Ward to add to his 160-yard game, 2 touchdowns on a whopping 26 carries. Wow, that's a lot of running the ball there for Jalen Ward.
Yeah, he's looked really good tonight. He fumbled early. Was it his first or second carry?
I believe it was his first carry. He coughed the ball up. But
yeah.
Other than that, he's just been pounding it down their throats. And according to our student section, this game is over. They're doing the nah, hey, goodbye to Perry Meridian. Now, granted, there are very few Perry Meridian fans here due to our COVID-19 guidelines of only 250 players, as Jalen Ward.
In reality, there's very few of our fans here, too.
That's true.
Because there can't be. I mean,
Yes.
we have a good showing.
Yes.
But in reality,
I mean, due to COVID-19, it affects everybody, but as the clock goes under a minute, Jalen Ward gets a 7-yard gain for his 27th carry of the game. And, I mean, from start to finish, except for our first drive when we coughed it up, it has just been Franklin. 35-0 Grizzly Cubs. Under 40 seconds to go here. We're just running the clock out. You can't see it on your screen, but there is a play clock that we're just trying to run down before we do this final play of the game, barring any turnovers. It's going to be Titus Phillips up the middle. He's going to get about 6 yards, I would say.
Yep, and Coach Call gives him the no more sign, and that's going to do it from Franklin. 2-game homestand, 2 victories, 2 large victories. The final here on the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard, Franklin Community 35, Perry Meridian nothing. The last 2 weeks has seen the Grizzly Cubs outscore their opponents by a final score of, hold on, let's do some quick math.
So we calculate that just real fast. It's going to be 63 plus 35.
98 to
98.
6.
Yep, 98 to 6 for your
98
Grizzly
to
Cubs.
6.
And we're going to show you the players running off the field doing their imaginary high fives. We're going to come back to you in just a minute for our final game analysis and stuff. If you don't plan to join us, stay safe, be kind to everybody, and just have a great night. If you plan to join us, we'll see you in just a second. 35-0 Grizzlies. All right, Grizzly Cubs fans, we're back with you here after a 35-0 beating of Perry Meridian. And after our interview with Coach Chaz Hill last week, we have an absolute legend up in the studio with us tonight. Mr. Mike McClure. Coach McClure, how do you think the game went tonight?
Well, I think it went fantastic for us. I thought the kids executed well, and we were defense did a heck of a job. So I thought we played quick. There's a lot of room still to improve, obviously. Coach Call, some things that we did there, we're going to have to do better, especially coming up facing Whiteland, which is going to be a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so being the quarterback's coach, your quarterback, Reed Roberts, tonight had 90 yards passing and 6 carries for 46 yards to add a touchdown in the air. How do you think Reed did tonight?
He's improving every game. That's the main thing. Reed was playing a defensive back last year, so he really, didn't have much experience at all last year with this thing, and he's getting better every game. I thought his decisions were pretty good. He's still going to get better at that. I mean, there's a couple times that we talked to him, and he makes some good reads, and he'll keep making those reads better, I think, as the season goes along. So I was pleased with his progress, and he has a lot on his plate. I mean, we do a little read, zone read where he can pull it or give it, and then you have all the pass reads and all that kind of stuff. So he's doing a good job. I'm very pleased with his progress, and I think he's going to get better and better as the season goes along.
Yeah, well, we're proud of Reed. We're really proud of the entire team. A 35 knocking off of Perry Meridian. Coach McClure, thanks for stopping by.
Well,
we appreciate it.
Thank you. And your definition of a legend is a little loose, but I love it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping by, Coach.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Before I wrap it up, Mr. Powers, you got any more final words for us?
No, I think Coach McClure said it great. Reed's really learning. He's coming along. The offense looked good. The last 2 games have just been – you can't really ask for more if you're Coach Call or if you're a Franklin football team. And they head in next week to the battle with Whiteland for the boot. We've got it. They're definitely going to want it back, and we're definitely going to want to keep it. So it should be an intense matchup. Whiteland is actually playing at Decatur right now, I believe. So I will probably head on up there since I live right next to Decatur Central High School and maybe watch the end of that.
There we go.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
No,
my wife would kill me. I need to put my daughter to bed. So
all right, well, your Grizzly Cubs will be on the road next week, just north of 31. And before we do that, we're just going to give our 2020 Grizzly Club sponsors one more shout-out.
Absolutely. Our state champ sponsor, Lancer and BB Architects and Krukemeyer Machine and Tool. Thank you so much for your support, state champ sponsors. Victory Club sponsor, your friendly Franklin Meyer. We thank you for all your help with our concession stand. The Winner's Circle sponsors, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Chris Beckert, Hillview Country Club, TC Electric, and W.R. Johnson Excavating. And our touchdown sponsors, they definitely got their money's worth tonight.
Oh, of course.
Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lender, Blex Body Shop, Brady Laurie Attorney, Catalyst Consulting, Cedar Lane Family Dentistry, Crane Credit Union, DeArmond Financial Group, First National Bank, Franklin Dermatology, Franklin Muffler and Brake, Honey Creek Napa Auto Parts, Indy Roll-Off, Jefferson Street Barber Shop, Joco CrossFit, Johnson County REMC, Jones & Anderson CPA, Lock Trucking, Mayor Steve Barnett, Schultz, Pogue, and Pinnock Law Office, Shelby Materials, Shrink Masters, Smith Real Estate, and Votorantum Cementos Prairie Materials. Thank you once again to all of our sponsors. We could not have done it without you. And once again, on the Hubler Automotive Group scoreboard from Franklin Community High School, your Franklin Community Grizzly Cubs defeat the Perry Meridian Falcons 35-0. For Thomas Crow, I am Brian Powers. We'll see you here live again in a couple weeks for another Franklin Community High School football Friday night. Good night, everybody.